Greetings YouTube, this here is Rodney and I'm showing you a picture of my 1989 Thundercraft 180 LS. I picked it up last summer. It would have been the summer of 2017. You wouldn't know that this was almost a 30-year-old boat. Done a couple of modifications to it, add the stern protector down there so we could take it out and beach it. Went to Dale Hollow this last weekend. Had a great time. I learned to water ski on Dale Hollow, and it was my first time back there in 30 years. I was all excited about the trip, and we got this boat out on the water, drove it for a couple hours, and it started making a god-awful squeal. I thought maybe my water pump was going out. The sound that it was making, it was because it was consistent. It went with the RPMs of the motor, went up and down, so I thought maybe it was the bearings, pulleys, something inside going out. It's got the 4.3 Mercruiser Alpha 1 outdrive, put the skeg protector on down there. Anyway, got it out there and it was making this racket, and I don't know if any of you guys have experienced this. Couldn't find anything about it. Then when upon further inspection, I got it back to dock, started checking it out, and so what I did is I took all the belts off like you see here, and then fired it up without any belts on it to see if it would still make the sound. If it was a water pump, then taking the belts off the pump would take away the squeal, right? Except it still kept making the squeal. And if you are a savvy person, you might already see what the problem is. I did a little bit more research, couldn't really find anything about it online. So I don't know if I'm one of just a couple people that have experienced this, but if you own a 4.3 liter Vortec V6, especially on a boat, or anywhere I guess for that matter, and you start experiencing it, sounds like a scraping sound. And what I found is when I got down in there after I pulled all this up, it sounded like it was coming from behind the timing cover. And couldn't figure out exactly what it was. And then I got to doing a little research and thinking about it, and there was something rubbing. So I thought maybe one of the bolts on the gear for the cam had worked its way loose and it was rubbing on the inside. But then I got to looking closer, and I've already started removing the harmonic balancer, and you can see a little bit of space there. That balancer, and in fact you can kind of see where it's been scraping right there. That balancer worked its way back. It should be flush right here. This should be flush with this. Clearly the rubber is broken down and the balancer is slid back and it's rubbing against the cover. Now I haven't had a chance to fire it. I pulled the balancer back a little bit, and I'm going to fire it just to make sure that there's no sound from the inside, and then clearly I'm getting a new harmonic balancer here. But if any of you guys have that issue with that scraping sound, that might be a way to check it out. That balancer has come, and apparently it's been working its way because there's quite a bit of surface rust. So this has been doing this for a while, but like I said, I've had this boat for a year and it's ran great. Took it all the way down to Dale Hollow from Terre Haute, Indiana. 6-hour drive down there, spent a half a day on the water. We still had a great trip with family, but really wanted to get this out there and fire it up and do some water skiing, but we'll get another shot. But at least it's this and not something catastrophic inside the motor. So, all right, YouTubers, I'll put this out there. Noise from the harmonic balancer. Went down, pulled a balancer removal kit from Harbor Freight, 15 bucks, great investment, and I'll be replacing this. Probably go over to O'Reilly, and they got a $50 replacement, and then hopefully I'll be back in business. So anyway, something to think about there.